Hi guys. So I wanted to film a quick recap video of how to do all the core skills with Mr. Bubba Moose. Hi, sir. um, I know you've talked to Ashley either at drop off or pickup, and Bubba honestly is doing really well for his age and for what his things that he's working on, that he needs to work on are. The biggest things that you have as not necessarily roadblocks, but as his struggles are going to be his teenager distraction. Also, it's what's worth it to him. He is a good dog. You have done a phenomenal job socializing him and doing a lot of the behaviors and skills. What we've been able to do is not necessarily having to teach him how to do the basics, but what our expectations are in harder, more difficult thresholds. And what I mean by thresholds is distance, distraction, duration, and environments. Good boy. He's learning what the expectation is before I have to give the command. So he is sitting beautifully in front of me. And he's honestly kind of putting the charm on because he's doing the cute little wiggles when he looks at me. And I give him a smile and I give him praise. Yes, good boy. And he is so full of hope that, oh, am I going to get a treat? What am I going to do next? This is something that has been a pleasure putting the polish on. He still has environmental practice to work on. If it's a bunny that just runs right past us, we're still going to struggle. If it's another dog that runs right past us, we're still going to struggle. But the struggle will not be as difficult, and you have more reliability on your commands. He has done far better than I was expecting, especially for a dog of his age and breed. Usually these guys are gonna like squirrels. They're like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? This kid does have focus where he's like, oh, hey, I can do this. I know this task. Yeah, let's do it. Does he get a little like, ooh, oh, right. I'm supposed to focus. Yes. But again, that's part of age and that's part of our repetitions and exposing him to as many environments as we can. We are still working on his own internal self-regulation, his own internal impulse control. So I'm going to show you how we do our core skills. This is a reference video. We're going to go over this in person when we do your one-on-one. And then we kind of talk about what next steps. So once he's completed one round of day school, hey, what is the next steps or curriculum that we would expect to refine him? So let's go ahead and get started. With our core skills, first thing we teach is name game. So the idea behind name game is that you can use his name as a command, which is a foundational score of what is my expectation when I call the dog? He has to come to me. He has to leave the thing that he just went to. And what is the default position, which is sitting and looking at you. So I'm going to toss a treat again to distract him. Bubba, go get it. So now that he's distracted over there, I'm going to call his name, Bubba Moose. He's going to come running to you. He's going to sit. Yes, good boy. I'm going to reward and walk away. Now, this is a foundational skill for recall because the difference between this and recall, excuse me, yes, you're going to use Bubba Moose in both instances. I wish the camera was pointed down just a little bit more because he just sat even though I said it in conversation. Even though you're going to say his name, the difference between these two is that now we're going to add come. Now, when you call him, it's not just going to be come, it's going to be Bubba Moose, come! And he's going to have like boosters put on where he's like, oh, let's go. Not just like a, hey, how you doing? I'm going to slowly walk my way over. So toss the treat away so you can kind of see him come running in. So I'm going to say, Bubba Moose, come! And you're going to watch him. Yes, go boy, does go boy. Now, I'm not going to ask him for a sit. He's not quite ready for a polishing or a finisher command in this capacity. I want his recall to be 90% spot on. So 9 out of 10 times, I want him to run to you no matter what distractions are around us. When we get 9 out of 10 times, then I'm going to put a finisher and ask him to sit. But I want you to have consistency on him running to you no matter what is happening around you, whether you're in the woods, there's dogs, there's bunnies, there's cars, does not matter. Reason why I'm waiting for him to come running through all those distractions, because sometimes when we ask them to sit like this, it can poison or kind of devalue, oh, I like doing this. So right now, when you're working on recall or name game, when you're doing recall, it's Bubba Moose, come! And he's supposed to run as fast as he can, and woohoo! Now you have to make it a party. So if he turns to you and he's like, hey, and you're like, come on, let's go! You want him to be like, yeah, this is the most exciting thing ever, and keep running to you. Make it a party. When you're working on name game, this is something that you can do. You're milling around the house, you're washing dishes, you're brushing your teeth, and he's doing his own stuff, and you're gonna say, Bubba Moose. And if you need to, you can make some kissing noises, but yes, good boy. He's supposed to be like, hey, what's up? You wanted me? It's a good check-in. You called, you rang. That's the expectation we build in. Make this a game at home. Grab a couple of his kibble and play it between you guys, where someone's in the kitchen and someone's in the living room, and he has to play hide and go seek or monkey in the middle between you. This is going to help reinforce that recall, but also help reinforce, hey, what is the expectation? When you come home and he's excited to see you, Bubba Moose, hi, good boy, what's going on? Yes, you can be so excited. But you're going to say his name first, which is going to ask him to do this first, which then he's not jumping up on you and saying hi. Now, if you want him to jump up, please know 100% you can invite him up. Okay, buddy, come on, come on. He's like, I know I'm not supposed to do this. Come on, Bubba. Yeah. If you invite him, totally okay. But you invite him, not him inviting himself up, which is why you saw the hesitation of like, whoa, I'm not supposed to do this, which is what we've been working on. So when you call him, he's supposed to sit in front of you. Now, let's talk about impulse control and leave it. Now, when we discuss impulse control, it's really what we're looking at is the drives of the dog. What motivates it? Is it prey drive? Is it fight or flight drive? Is it food drive? What is the thing that's like, oh, I want to do that? So best way to teach this, and especially with leave it, is do play disengagement. So you're purposely going to get a toy that he really likes, and you can play as crazy and as wild as you want. You get to decide what's okay. For me, and in regards in training, teeth can't touch skin. Or, and especially in his case, jumping is not allowed. Like if he touches paws on me, we're done. So what we're gonna do, Bubba, is I'm gonna show him the toy, and I'm gonna purposely try to get him to be crazy. And it's okay, you can play tug, and oh my goodness, get it, Bubba, yeah, that's good boy. And I'm okay with this, because feet aren't touching me. Good boy, Bubba, yeah, get it, get it. When you get him riled, like really, really riled, Bubba Moose, yes, good boy, okay, go get it. You're gonna say his name, he's gonna drop, he's gonna look at it, and then he gets the toy immediately when he looks at you. That's gonna allow him to learn a pause button. And then you can go back to play. We want to teach dogs that when we call their name in the middle of play, it's not a negative, it's not a punishment. It's just I need you to focus for a second. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Come on, there you go, good boy. Bubba Moose, yes, good boy. That's what we want. Now, you can start pairing this with Bubba Moose, leave it. Good job, buddy. When we say Bubba Moose, leave it, now we're adding the leave it of disengagement, a hard disengagement. Don't look at it, don't touch it, don't even think about it. When we teach it in this capacity, we're building that leave it is just a hard, I need you to check in immediately. As soon as you do, good boy. As soon as you do, yes, we can move on and move forward. Or now I can pick up this toy and exchange it out for a different toy, like a donut. Yay, go get it. Doesn't matter. Now, you can also teach leave it with food items. You can teach it while you're cooking. You can drop things on the ground. Leave it is anything and everything. It is one of the commands I say, have fun torturing your dog in a healthy, positive way. And it's torture because I want you to set up all these crazy types of things to do with him that tease him. Come here, Bubba. So, for example, I have some treat stick that he really likes, and I'm going to put it on the chair. Leave it. Yes, good boy. Just because I say leave it and I say yes does not mean he gets to automatically have it right afterwards. He has to wait for a release command to eat them. Bubba, can you sit? Oh, that's good boy. He can have other treats while we're waiting on that leave it. But the idea is, can you put your food on your coffee table, go into your kitchen, get a drink, and come back, and your food is still there? That's what I want you to work on. Come on, Bubba. He can follow you too. He can walk past the leave it and distraction thing that he's wanting to get. This is building up that leave it command. Now, the other part of this that I want you to practice is with moving things. So having a ball, having a bouncy, having things that he loves. Let me get him back in the frame. Come here, buddy. Yes. Can I bounce a ball? Leave it. Bubba, come here. Sit. I'm going to tell him leave it. I'm going to bounce it. Leave it. Sit. Yes. Leave it. And I don't know if you can see it on the video, but he's kind of vibrating a little bit because he's like, oh, I want to get it. And when I'm ready for him to get it, then I'll say, Bubba, okay, go get it. Yes, good boy. And then he can go get the ball. Desco boy, Desco boy. And if he does a victory lap around you with that toy, cool. That's fine. I'm okay with that. But as soon as you're done with it, Bubba, leave it. Come here. Sit. That's the expectation. We're all done. Check in with me. Because you are the ultimate thing for Bubba Moose. Leave it. Good boy. Last but not least are two skills that I like to go over more so in person than over the video. Just because there are a lot more body mechanics involved for humans. And also we can go over questions that you may have impersonally. But first one is place. Now we teach place as our end all be all of a whole duration command. Bubba. Now Bubba does not like the place cot. Really does not like it. We have to lure him still onto the cot itself. Now, if we ask him for a sit in place on the ground, totally fine. Or if we ask him for like a rug or a towel, he's totally okay with that. But he does not like the place cot. So this is where we're going to set some manageable expectations. Now, the reason why we say place instead of stay or wait, like you may do at home or in other training facilities, is because the idea of place is that it's on a targeted sit stay, essentially. So dog has to be on this object, and think of it like floating dog island. I stay on this island, and nothing happens to me while I'm on it, but also I'm supposed to stay on it. Bubba, sit, place. You can use stay, you can use wait, but the idea, the body mechanics is a flat hand out, and you put it away. And then you walk away. You can build your 3Ds, distance, distraction, duration, and environments, which is part of your thresholds. You can totally walk around him. Go put your laundry away. Empty your dishwasher. Bring your groceries in. He has to stay on that object. And if he pops off of it like he just did, sit, place. You just mark it with a negative marker. Nope, we're not doing that. Or get him back onto that thing. Reinforce that command. Your timer starts back up. If you hit 3 fails, so he struggles 3 times, I have to redirect him onto that 3 times. Go back to the easiest format, so 5 seconds, and then he gets to come off of it. Now, your release command coming off of place is going to be release command, specifically release command. We use okay, and ideally we use their name and okay. The reason why is because that's what we as humans use the easiest and the most. So, Bubba, okay. And then he gets to go chase a treat. He does not have to take and sit right afterwards. Again, we don't want to do finishers just yet because he still needs to reinforce this expectation of, I'm free. This is what's going to help make this place command solid. And place can be anywhere you stick him. Anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is. Now, if he's in a sit place and he lays down, he is going above and beyond. It's called pleasing behaviors. If you ask him for a down place and he pops up into a sit, not allowed. Put your butt back or put your belly back down on the ground. Clear expectations in that capacity. Last but not least is walking. So I would recommend that we use Bubba Moose on a slip lead. We can talk more in depth in person, especially gear. Every piece of gear has positives and negatives. I've seen good things and negative things from literally every single piece of training gear that's out there. We've been using the slip lead and he's done really well with this. Biggest perspective with this is that it's tension and release. Dogs learn by the release of tension and tension of itself. So when we're walking, it's his right as a dog to be in line with your body. So from his butt to his nose, he has that wiggle room. If he is ahead of you, it's a privilege. If he's behind you, the natural consequence of a privilege. But when he's right here, this is the expectation. Now, when we go over slip lead work, and if you're not comfortable with slip lead work, that's okay. We can change it. But really quickly, one hand's going to be your anchor hand. You just hold it. The other hand's going to be your talking hand. What I mean by that is this is the hand that's going to give corrections. This is the hand that's going to change how much leash he actually gets. I'd recommend for him about 1.5 feet, to be honest. I want him to be right in line with you guys. And when he has more than that, he gets ahead of you and he causes some problems, or he gets a little ahead of himself. So right here, he's walking right with me. Now, I'm going to give him a tug and release. And it's not a long tug and release. It's just a quick, like, shirt tug. Hey, I need you to pay attention. And he does pretty well with this. We still have some refinement to do on leash work. And this is where we'll sync up with you guys about what's the right gear that you feel comfortable with and really help in this capacity. But he has to pay attention to where the leash is. I'm not paying attention to where he is. He is looking to me. This is boundary work. This is body work. This is him really respecting, hey, this is the communication. The reason why I like the slip lead when we teach dogs is because it's consent on both ends. It is an active dialogue that is happening. Mr. Bubba, kind of like a kid that's like, oh, okay, fine, I'll go do it. He's usually pretty happy, but when he really doesn't want to do something, you just see the full-on pout. Because what he'd rather do is offer other behaviors, like he's on the place cot or a place bed that's on the ground. He'd rather sit there and listen to what he's doing on the leash. There's a couple more nuanced things. There's some fun things that we want working with him, but I wanted to send you a recap video of just our core skills. Bubba's done an amazing job. He really has. Next steps, I would say, is definitely making sure that we get our private scheduled and then deciding what are our next steps for training. We can do privates. We can do another round of day school. Really is up to what you guys would like to do. I would recommend more than likely another round of day school to work on his thresholds and really making sure that he knows his expectations on the long line when you're out in the like the woods, or if you guys go on field trips or like day trips. Really want to make sure that you have that 90 percentile in that recall and in that focus. But really smart dog. He's an absolute pleasure to work with, and let us know if you have any questions.